The residents of Wisconsin's 3rd Congressional District directed questions to an empty chair reserved for Congressman Van Orden. Our next guest is the Democrat, Rebecca Cooke. She lost to Congressman Van Orden by just 2 points in 2024. Last week, Rebecca Cooke announced that she's running against Van Orden in 2026 in Wisconsin's 3rd District, and I hope he's going to show up for some meetings when you're running against him. This is quite something, Rebecca. The Republicans who are not doing things, they're not showing up. People want to talk to their elected representatives, and that is their right in America.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's been an utter failure of leadership on Derrick Van Orden's part. And that's part of the reason why I was getting into this race here in March and getting in early, is I think that we have to really hold people like Derrick Van Orden and this administration accountable and to hold his feet to the fire. And there's been not just today, but a number of opportunities for Derrick Van Orden to engage with his constituents, and he's failed to do so. And that's a big part of the job of being a member of Congress, is showing up and listening to people. And so, you know, we have, as you probably know, a very important Supreme Court race happening here on April 1st in our spring elections. And so it's all gas, no brakes until then. But I'm going to be hosting opportunities for people around this district to be able to have community conversations, to be talking about the things that Derrick Van Orden is voting for and how it's impacting them. And the big things that this administration has been doing that's been a real detriment to working families in this district.
And it's very clear that the appetite is there. I want to just pop into Tempe, Arizona again, where Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and Bernie Sanders are going in. And I mean, this is a 5,000 person rally, and there are apparently hundreds, if not thousands, of people outside who didn't get in. I just spoke, as you heard, to Congresswoman Kelly Morrison, and she had 2,000 people show up at a town hall. Representative Van Orden said he's not doing any more, and I'm just going to read this to you. He said he'll hold a series of online Zoom meetings to address constituent concerns, and this is why, quote, "There's been a group of George Soros-funded agitators going around the country disrupting town halls being held by Republicans," end quote. A group of George Soros-funded agitators. I want to just use that opportunity to ask you, who is showing up to these things, and where are you right now? Because I want to just draw this. Where you got cups and dishes.
It's a little bit of a different backdrop than you might see in some of your interviews. So I just got done waitressing. I work at a restaurant in Eau Claire, Wisconsin. I grew up working class, and I'm still working class. I grew up on a dairy farm in this district. And, you know, I think to Derrick Van Orden's point, he's not showing up to listen to working families. The people that are showing up at these town halls are people that work regular jobs like I do. They're waitresses, they're small business owners, they're union workers, they're farmers, and they're looking for answers, and he's not providing them. And so, you know, I think that we need to continue to recruit regular people off the sidelines that understand what working families are struggling with and that are going to fight like hell to expand the middle class. And I think that that's our duty to be doing right now. And people are fearful with a lot of the things that are happening, and they're screwing with people's lives. And I think it's an opportunity for us as Democrats to really show solidarity and leadership, and to get out there and hold these folks accountable.
How much money did you take from George Soros last year?
Zero.
Thank you.
And you know what? I don't know if you saw the news. You know, he's been taking money from Elon Musk in the same way Elon Musk has been dumping money into our Supreme Court race here in Wisconsin. And, you know, I'm backed by grassroots support. If you're interested in supporting me, you can go to cookeforwisconsin.com to learn more about my background and platform and support this campaign.
Thank you so much for being with us tonight. We appreciate that. Rebecca Cooke is a Democratic candidate for Congress in Wisconsin's 3rd Congressional